What you've just witnessed was a self-test of this Nakamichi MB-8 changer. I normally don't deal with changes, but I made an exception here because some of the Nakamichis are quite remarkable players. I wanted to see if this one is one of those. There's no information about this unit. There's no manuals, no videos, no discussions, nothing. So in general, must be very reliable to sort of be off the net. So let me first then press number 5 to select. I want to load disk number 5. Okay, and then open. Sadly, this is a slot. Maybe I'll put a different disk. Sadly, this is a slot mechanism. And why is it sad? I have to press play. Because once you take the top off, it just won't work. So it's impossible to work on those. These are like CD-ROMs. And you can hear the distortion now. Stop for a while. But anyway, on disk with poor reflectivity, it just doesn't work that well. So now we're going to go and do 4. This is just to show you the shenanigans that that happen. So now we have to open it, and so we can. Oh, not that one. Made a mistake here. I'll install. I'll put in a regular CD. This is very good reflectivity on that one, and this will play fine. So what the problem with it is that it either has, let me kill that silliness, that it either needs a power increased or new laser or servo adjustment. The trouble with all that is that and I took a liberty of taking it apart before, and see, the laser mechanism is over there. I mean, the actual laser head, if I get my finger there, that's right, it's over there, and the trimmer is on the right. However, I tried to measure the power, and I was unsuccessful, because, you see, as I showed before, when you load the disk, it doesn't read table of contents, because it doesn't know if you want to just play a disk or you want to load up all 5. So it waits with reading the table of contents until such time that you press play. And therefore there is no laser emission on startup. Therefore you cannot cheat it into sending laser emissions. And once you load the CD, well then you cannot put your probe there. So whereas I could just crank up a power so it works better, but the problem killed that laser because it's not done in the correct way. Replacing laser is not that easy either, and not because it has to be done from the bottom, but lasers these days do not come with power adjusted to any particular level. So still needs an adjustment afterwards, and that is not a trivial matter. Sadly, as you see, the main board is also unremarkable. I mean, maybe there are fancy bits underneath, because this is a single-sided board with all the electronics, or most of the electronics, at least the clever one, the high-density one, is underneath. So there's no adjustment here, and all the servo adjustments are underneath. And of course, on top of that, they're sort of sandwiched between the mechanism and the cover. So at the authorized factory service, they probably had, in those days when these came out, factory test rigs in which, you know, there were extension cables that you could sort of work on the board here, and the player will still read the disc. But I would have to make them up now, so it's just not feasible. I've seen this player on eBay for $180, so I would have to charge at least double that much, if not more. You know, this is really a case, if the owner really wants me to go ahead, this is like going to a lawyer. you pay by the hour, and at the end of all that you can still lose the case and lose it all, including the player. Because if something breaks, any of those little plastic parts break in the mechanism, well, that's the end of it. And I don't even want to disassemble that bit. I want to work from the bottom, because this is way above my pay grade. I normally understand how laser mechanisms work, but this is just way too complex, and I'm not going to reverse engineer it, you know, I'll never see one of those again. So it's a sort of a sad news, because it mechanically is a remarkable mechanism, but it might even sound better, I don't know. Maybe it's actually a good overall unit. Maybe it's actually worth fixing, but only the owner can make that decision. So, bye for now, and till the next one.